Okay, ji, assalamu alaikum. This question is from 2016, paper 1, question number 9. Topic of this question is circular measure. It's one of the uh, tricky questions what I have seen overall. So normally students have faced issue in this question. Part 1 and part 2 are normally solved, but in part B of 6 marks, students do face issues. So let's just focus, just go through the question of what is actually being said. So AOB is a sector. AOB is a sector and of a circle with center O, radius R. AX is a tangent. AX is a tangent. So that means if I make a tangent here, that this becomes a quadrilateral. At A to the arc AB, an angle BAX is alpha. Show that AOB is 2 alpha. Now, we need to understand that to solve this, let's take angle AOB as X and let's take this as Y. So this is why this should be Y as well because of the same radius. So direct, if I say I need to have X plus Y should be equal to 180. That means angle AOB, which is equal to X, should be equal to 180 minus 2Y. But similar case, what we need to understand is we need to know the value of Y as well. For Y, if you look at this, is this 90 degree? Because tangent is drawn. So if this is 90 degree, it is always 1 upon 2 pi or 90 minus alpha. So can I say 1 upon 2 pi minus alpha or 90 minus alpha? Since we need to understand that we are doing circular measures, so we will be taking this thing as angle OAB Y. And it says OAX is equal to 1 upon 2 pi. Similarly, we know that XAB is equal to alpha. So OAB should be 1 upon 2 pi minus alpha. So that means your Y is equal to 1 upon 2 pi minus alpha. So if we write this thing as AOB angle as X is equal to 1 upon 2 minus and Y will be 1 upon 2 pi minus alpha. So X is equal to 180 is pi minus pi plus 2 alpha. So this is cancelled. So you are left with what? 2 alpha. Please note that 180 degree is always pi. So we can write this thing as pi minus 2 alpha, pi minus 2 alpha as well. So we got 2AB is equal to what? 2 alpha. Then the question says, find the area of the shaded region. To see that area of the shaded region, we see a sector minus triangle. Formula of sector is half r square theta and triangle is half AB sine theta. So what can we see here? That means if we want to have area of the sector, this should be half r square, and theta is 2 alpha. So this should be 2 alpha minus half r square sine 2 alpha. 2 and 2 is cancelled, so that means r square alpha minus half r square sine 2 alpha is the answer for part 2, because the normal question particularly says find the area of term of r and alpha. So this is r alpha alpha r. Continuing to part B. Now same concept that you need to understand this. It is an equilateral triangle. It is an equilateral triangle. 4, 4, 4. Knowing the fact that since it is an equilateral triangle, this angle should be 1 upon 3 pi. This angle should be 1 upon 3 pi. Area of the triangle formula is area of triangle formula is A half AB sine theta. Half AB sine theta. Now what does this represent? This represents the area of the entire triangle, because we need to find out the shaded region, area of the shaded region. So for that we need to take out area of the entire triangle. So half into 4 into sine. Since it is an equilateral triangle, 60, 60, 60 will be the angle, and 60 is pi upon 3. 60 is pi upon 3. So we can write this as 16 upon 2 sine pi upon 3. 8 sine pi upon 3. Pi upon 3 means 60. And sine 60 is under root 3 upon 2. So this should be 4 under root 3 up 3. Because 2 and 8 is cancelled. So this 4 under root 3 is the area of the triangle. But to understand further, we need to have since we know that this 4 under root 3 is for the entire triangle. But now we need to know that this particular segment. And when we multiply the segment 2, 3, and we subtract it from the area of the triangle, we get area of the shaded region. Now, that means that in the last part, what we did was, we did calculate the area of what? We calculate area of the segment. So, area of segment is r square alpha minus half r square sine 2 alpha. So if we get area of segment and then we subtract it from the area of what? Area of the triangle, we get area of the shaded region. But we need to multiply the area of segment into 3. So, and the answer needs to be in pi and under root. That means the answer will be solved. So coming back, since this is an equilateral triangle, this entire angle is pi upon 3. So this angle should be pi upon 6. Previously, if you note that this was a sector. This was a sector. And this was what? Alpha. That means your alpha is 1 upon 6 pi. That means your alpha is 1 upon 6 pi. And this was 2 alpha. This was 2 alpha. So directly keeping down alpha, and we need to find out radius as well. So considering that this is alpha, 2 alpha, this is pi upon 6, and this is 90 degree. So that means this 90 degree AX and this angle 90 degree is 1 upon 2 pi minus 1 upon 6 pi. 2 and 6. If we take down the LCM of 2 and 6, 2 ones are 3s are 3. So that means 6 is your LCM. 6 divided by 2 is 3. This will be 3 pi minus pi. So that means 2 upon 6 pi, which is 1 upon 3 pi, which is 1 upon 3. So this angle is 1 upon 3 pi. This angle should be 1 upon 3 pi. So if these two angles are 1 upon 3 pi, this would be 1 upon 3 pi as well. 2 alpha, 2 multiplied by 1 upon 6 pi. So this is also 1 upon 3 pi. So that means the entire triangle is an equilateral triangle again. So this is 4, this should be 4 as well, since this is 4. So that means radius is 4 and your alpha is 1 upon 6 pi. So 4 square, and this is 1 upon 6 pi. Alpha is 1 upon 6 pi. So similarly, minus 1 upon 2, 4 square sine 2, 1 upon 6 pi. Now knowing the fact that 4 pi is 16 pi upon 6 minus 16 upon 2, 0.2 ones are 2 threes are. So sine 1 upon 3 is 60. So this is under root 3 upon 2. So if we just solve it down, this would be 8 upon 3 pi minus, this should be 8 into under root 3 upon 2, which we can write this thing as, 4 under root 3. 2, 8, and obviously 4 under root 3 can be written as. Now this is your area of, segment. The area of segment that we were talking about, but for one part only. If we multiply this by area of segment, if multiplied by 3, we get what? All unshaded region inside triangle. So this is 3, 8 upon 3 pi minus 4 under root 3. This can be written as 3, 8 pi minus 12 under root 3. This is unshaded region. Unshaded region. And we already know that, what do we have? We have 4 under root 3 pi. So can we particularly say that we need to subtract this, because area of the triangle minus area of 3 segments. So area of the triangle was 4 under root 3 minus 8 pi minus 12 under root 3 in the bracket. So 4 under root 3 minus 8 pi plus 12 pi. 12 under root 3. So this should be 16 under root 3 minus 8 pi. The answer is in terms of under root 3 and pi. This is the answer for the shaded part only.